What's going on, guys? Welcome to this video where I will talk about something super interesting. I just got this book. I got it as a Christmas gift from a friend of mine, and basically it's Joe Weider's Ultimate Bodybuilding book. Alright, we have Arnold, we have Tom Platz, we have Lee Haney, all the really golden era bodybuilding, silver era, with all their exercises choices that they were training. And guess what? There's so many things that we don't see anymore in the gym. Alright, well, let's just start by saying that if you guys have not got this book, well, I really recommend it. There's so many things, but you know what? I will go through all the exercises that we're missing nowadays in the gyms that I took a quick read of their exercise choices, their training splits, because all these exercises are there, and there's a lot of things that I'm like, wow, those are so important, and we don't even do them anymore in the gym. And I feel like old school is always the best. And I will remind you guys of 10 exercises that are in this book that helped Arnold and all those big golden era bodybuilders build their physique that we are neglecting nowadays. All right, so number one, dumbbell pull over. All right, so it's called cross bench dumbbell pull over. So you put yourself your back on the bench, kind of the position of hip thrust, but you have the dumbbell in the back and you're doing the pullover. And it's an exercise that is used a lot for the upper chest and for the lats. A lot of people were doing it on their chest workout. Arnold used to be very big on it, and he used to say that it's used to help him expand his thoracic cage. So basically dumbbell pullover, I don't see anyone doing it nowadays. Even myself, I'm guilty of it. I'll do pullover with the cable, but I'll never do it on the dumbbell, and it's something I want to incorporate back in my routine. All right, number two, behind the neck pull down. All right, so this exercise gets a lot of hate for the shoulders. They say it's very painful, the injury is high for the shoulders, but the way they were doing it, well, every bodybuilder that I went through had that exercise to really help them focus on the rhomboids, the traps, the mid traps, the upper traps, and it's a really good exercise. But now I'm pretty sure they were not going as heavy as lat pull down to the front, but it was something that was in every bodybuilder's program on their back day. So I'm like, that's interesting. Another thing I realized is that they were doing shrugs, traps on their back workout. So it's very interesting. Now I do it on my shoulders, but I'm thinking maybe I should try doing my traps on my back. It makes sense since the traps are on the back. Number three, behind the neck presses, all right, with the barbell or a Smith machine. But most of the time I was seeing it with the barbell. Arnold used to do it a lot with the barbell, behind the neck presses, standing or seated. And it's an exercise that we don't do for the excuse of saying that it's hard on the shoulders. It might be, but I really think that it's because we don't do it enough that as soon as we try, it feels uncomfortable because of the mobility that we don't get. And mobility also is a lack of strength somewhere in the range of motion. So maybe starting to do it will also help us be more mobile in there and develop another aspect of our shoulders. It's really important. Number four, upright rows. So it's an exercise that we still see, but it was super present in this book. Franco Colombo, Arnold, Lee Haney, Tom Platz, all doing those upright rows, and in many variation, sometimes they would also do high pulls. So it's pretty similar. And yeah, even what's his name, Lou Ferrigno, a big fan of it. And I'm like, whoa, everyone's doing it. It's probably super important. Now it's like demonized. Everyone's like, no, be careful. But I'm like, maybe they were doing it in a certain way and at a certain time of the workout with a certain weight that was not as stressful on their shoulders, but it's something that I want to incorporate again. And just to add up before continuing, I saw Franco Colombo doing exercises just for the neck. So he had a neck workout and it had a lot of those upright rows shrugs. So I really think it will help bringing all that, those upper muscle, bring them kind of up. Now, exercise number five is the vertical leg press. So if you've never seen it, well, I've never tried it, but I've seen it a lot in this video, and I was seeing videos of Ronnie Coleman back in the days doing vertical leg press. So it's not like the leg press that we see now, but it's really you're laying on the floor and you're pressing up. Now, why they stopped it, I really believe it's because of the blood going to your head. And a lot of people, when you have a lot of blood in your head, it could be dangerous. You can get dizzy, especially when you have a lot of weight that you're pressing and you're holding your breath. Well, you know how it can be kind of dangerous, but it was really present in the old school era, all right, the golden era. So maybe it was something that can be very beneficial. Now all the other leg exercises were pretty similar. Number 6, something important. I used to do a lot when I started training in Syria. It's funny because when I started training in Syria almost 10 years ago, well, I always felt like Syria was behind 40 years ago. So let's say 10 years ago, it's like they were getting the information of the golden era. And we had a lot of those exercises. So the pullover, we did it. But another one is the triceps with the dumbbell. So triceps extension with one dumbbell, elbows in, and just press it up. I don't see it anymore. And it was a big one for those old school bodybuilders to build their triceps. So triceps dumbbell extension, whether it's single arm or with both. Number 7, again for arms, concentration curl. So Arnold is super famous for it, kind of bending over and concentration curl each arm on its own. And they were also doing it with dumbbells, with barbells at the same time as with dumbbells sometimes. So it's an exercise we don't see super often. We're like prioritizing so much machines now, and we have a machine that does everything. But I really think that machines can't replace free weight and those big compound movements, because all the stabilizers muscles are still working. When you're laying, or let's say you're doing a dumbbell row, well, all the little muscles, your lower back is stabilizing, your core, you have all the small muscles of your back that are stabilizing the dumbbell, and the dumbbell can really move freely, all right? So it allows also more stimulation. So it helps you growing. It's not the same as going on a machine. Now, number 8, decline barbell press. All right, I had it in my gym in Syria 10 years ago. A lot of people were big fans of it, but I think also what happened is because your decline, a lot of people were not breathing correctly. It was causing a lot of eyes issues where people had all the blood in their head. But it was a great exercise to build that lower chest, all right? And I don't see it anymore. I think there was a law recently that stopped the decline. Big companies stopped producing decline benches because of all the drawbacks that it was getting. But I don't know, I'm still kind of in between. I wouldn't do it right now just because I have other exercises to work my lower chest, but it was super present decline barbell press. Number 9, partial squats. All right, this is something that I really loved seeing. Partial barbell squats. So basically you just go to, let's say, 60 degree and you come back up, all right? A lot of people would do that in the gym, and now we will have those experts on Instagram. That doesn't count. You gotta go ass to grass. You're not working well. Mobility, go lower. If you don't go ass to grass, it doesn't count. Well, this is BS, all right? If the old school bodybuilder in the golden era were doing partial squats, so basically kind of a sissy squat where they're not even going all the way down. But why they did that? To keep the tension on their quads, all right? Yes, when you go lower, you'll work more muscles. It's harder, but sometimes what we want is just stimulating that quad, and it's very present partial squats. They don't go all the way down. They just go low enough to put that tension on the quad and come back up. Maybe they don't want to work the glutes. Maybe they don't want to put any tension on the lower back, all right? So I think this is something that has been going on for a while, where a lot of those people will judge everyone doing something if it's not perfect form. But a perfect form for you doesn't mean that it's good for him. A powerlifter trains different than a bodybuilder, all right? I was putting a picture, a video of me doing pull-ups, and a lot of people are like, well, you don't go all the way down, it's cheating. Well, each one has their way of doing pull-ups, and for me, I feel my tension more on my lats when I don't go all the way down and lock it. CrossFit people will do it differently. Powerlifter will do it differently. If I lock it and I come all the way up, it might be easy for me, but I'm putting more tension on my biceps, which I don't want, and I'm taking off the tension of my lats. All right, so don't be quick to judge. That's the only thing I have to say. And speaking of pull-ups, it's not part of my 10 exercises. I still have another one coming. Yes, and the last one is pretty funny. But speaking of pull-ups, wide grip pull-ups, Franco Colombo was very big on them, Arnold too, and we don't do them as often in the gym, all right? People will prioritize lat pull-downs, but I think pull-ups still have their place every single back workout. They're super important. Now, exercise number 10, palms up, lateral raises. And this is something also I did 10 years ago in Syria, and a lot of bodybuilders were doing it, and I really believe that it's very good for the delts. Imagine palms up and you have a lot of weight, and some when they were doing it, they were going all the way up. Can you imagine? With 20 pounds each side, you would burn that. You would feel the crazy burn even like this. But imagine palms up, all right? And I think why it was stopped, because it was causing a lot of tension on the joints, the biceps, and a lot of people were getting injured. But imagine this lateral raise. It feels weird, like I'm just trying to do it and it feels so weird. But anyways, so there you have it, guys. 10 old school exercises from the golden era that you should start doing. Now, should you start doing them all? Not really. I would say go with whatever feels good for you, but don't neglect them. The dumbbell pullover, you can start doing. What else? The triceps dumbbell extension, concentration curl, partial squats. You can start with those and see how you feel, all right? Not everything that they did means it was good, but I really think that we should take something out of it. So that's it, guys. If you want, check this book out. I haven't finished reading it. I want to keep going with it, but it's really something super important, seeing how the pioneers of bodybuilding did it. So leave a like, leave a comment, share it, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.